ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः. In the last few shlokas of the chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna said about the nature of Brahman. It is neither Sat nor Asat, that it is beyond the transactional reality, and it has eyes, a face, mouth, hands, leg everywhere. That is, in brief, he said about that cosmic form, Vishwarupa, and he said that it is the power behind all the senses. And Bhagavan Krishna said that all this moving and unmoving, because of its, it is behind all that, it is within all the moving and unmoving, because of its subtlety, it is not known, and it appears as divided, though it is undivided. So just and he said it is the Jyotisham Jyotihi, all that he said. And in this next few shlokas, Bhagavan Krishna explains about the Jiva and the Prakriti. There is the Purusha and Prakriti. And he says that in Shloka 19, chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. प्रकृतिं पुरुषं चैव विद्यनादि उभावपि विकारांश्च गुणांश्चैव विद्धि प्रकृति संभवान्. There is Prakriti and Purusha, both are anadi, both are beginningless. When when Purusha is beginningless, then Prakriti also has to be beginningless, because it is the power of that Purusha. What Bhagavan here refers as Purusha is not that supreme being Brahman, but the Jiva. The Jiva is said in other ways as Purusha, Kshetrajna. So these are the synonymous terms for Jiva. So Jiva is the reflection of the supreme being, supreme consciousness Brahman. And it is the Chaitanya of Brahman. We can say it as the reflection, Chaitanya, Chitabhasa, Jiva. All these are also synonymous of Jiva. So this is said as Purusha. Purusha is that Chaitanya that is beginningless. Shakti of Brahman is that Prakriti, and it is also has to be beginningless. Both of them are beginningless. Vikarams gunams chaiva, and all these changes and gunas and the modifications vidhi prakritim sambhavan. It happens only in Prakriti and not in Purusha. All the vikaras means the modifications or the changes, like the gunas, the three gunas, and the combination of the elements, the involvement of the elements, everything happens only in Prakriti and not in Purusha. This is the 19th shloka. So the changes happen only in Prakriti. In Purusha is changeless. No change happens in Purusha. But both matter, that is Prakriti, and the spirit, that is Purusha, both are beginningless. And Bhagavan Krishna continues to say in Sloka 20, Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti Ruchyate Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktritve Hetu Ruchyate. Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu. So what is the cause of the cause and effect? The cause and effect means something has, if our pava karmas are cause, then the effect is what we experience it. So what is the cause for all the effect? The cause is all the cause and the effect. What is the cause of that cause? It is Prakriti. Prakritim ruchyate. So the cause for all the effects, that is the cause for all the modifications and the evolvement and changes happening, the cause for all this is Prakriti. And Purusha Sukha Dukkhana Bhoktritve Heduruchyati. And the Purusha is the enjoyer. It experiences both the pleasure and the pain. So, the cause for all the changes is Prakriti, but the Prakriti is not the experiencer, and one who experiences this change is Purusha and not Prakriti. All the changes appearing, the cause for all the modifications and changes is Prakriti. And what experiences this changes is not Prakriti, it is the Purusha. So, Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti, Purusha Sukha Dukkhana Bhoktrutve. So, that is the difference. So why does the Purusha is experiencing it? The Purusha is experiencing all this because it is in close proximity with the body-mind complex. We will ordinarily say it as body-mind complex, but the intellect is also included there. So the body, mind and intellect, they are matter, inert matter. This, it is said as Prakriti because all the changes happen only in the mind. We think only with the mind. We according to our thought, our body will change or we do action. So all this is because of happen only in Prakriti, that is matter in the mind and body. The mind and body, this is matter, but this Chaitanya, which is cause otherwise said as Purusha or the Chitabhasa, it is in close proximity with this matter. And because of that, the matter, it thinks that I am consciousness, I am intelligent, and the Purusha, which in reality is the supreme being or the spirit, it thinks that I am limited. I am limited, I have this and all that. So, this Chaitanya or the Purusha is the experiencer because of its close proximity with the matter. The matter is only inert. Because of its close proximity with the Purusha, the matter appears as intelligent, but actually the matter is not intelligent. Because of this close proximity, the superimposition, that is the misunderstanding that the Chaitanya or the Purusha feels that I am matter and the matter feels that I am Chaitanya. So it's the great misunderstanding. So one has to clearly separate this and see. So I am the Chaitanya feels that the attributes of the pure self are superimposed. The attributes of the pure self means the pure self, the reflection of the pure self is superimposed on matter, superimposed on the mind and intellect, and because of this superimposition, the mind and intellect feels or it appears that it is intelligence. This is the mutual superimposition and between the mind, body and intellect and the supreme self. So once when a person understands this, that is the difference between the Purusha and the Prakriti, then he will be able to understand it, not theoretically. We all know it theoretically. This is only Shravana. Manana also to an extent we can do. We can understand this, that is manana. But we have to do nididhyasana, contemplate on it and think about it and realize it. Just like when a science teacher takes the class, we just hear it. We understand it. But with that, we cannot write the examination or we cannot understand it completely. We have to think about it, remember it often. Only then we can write an exam or can realize it in future also. Next shloka Bhagavan says, Purusha prakriti hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sanghosya Sadasadhyoni Janmaso. See what all happens because of this mutual superimposition. This Purusha is in Prakriti. That is, the Purusha is in close proximity with the Prakriti, that is the body and mind. And because of this, the Purusha, which is in reality, do not have any attributes, do not have any gunas, it enjoys, it has to experience the Prakriti Jan Gunan, the gunas born out of Prakriti. The gunas, the Sattva guna, Raja guna, Tama guna, all this, the gunas born out of Prakriti. So we experience, I am angry, that is Rajoguna, I am so calm, peaceful, Shanti, Sattva I am feeling so dull, inertia, Tamoguna. So all this we feel, it is not that gunas of the Purusha. The Purusha does not have any gunas, but what we say, I feel so dull. Actually, what we have to say is, my mind feels so dull, but we do not say it and we do not accept it just because of this close proximity. But the jnanis, what they do, they are able to differentiate it well. See, Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, when a disease came to his body, he didn't care for it. He said, it's in my body, but I am not that body. He was able to differentiate that he was able to differentiate between the Prakriti, which is the body, and himself, the Purusha. So he didn't realize the pain also. The great jnanis will be like that. That's why in the previous chapters itself, Bhagavan Krishna said, that you are not this body or you are not this mind or you are not anything. So when someone praise you or someone insult you, there's nothing for you, because no one can really praise or insult the Atma, because it is all pervading. Even a person does that, then he must be a fool. So it is he's all, Brahman is all pervading. If he insult or do any harm to that self, then he is insulting his own self. So anyone can damage this Prakriti, because this Prakriti is gross and it has gunas. So anyone can comment on it. But Purusha is bereft of all this. But the Purusha enjoys the gunas born of Prakriti because of this close attachment to the gunas. The Purusha's close attachment to the gunas, the gunas along with this Purusha, that is the Jiva, here Bhagavan refers as Purusha is the Jiva. The Jiva takes multiple births in the Sat Yoni and Asat Yonishu. In the Sadyoni means good births as well as the evil births. Evil births means it may be born as the lower animals or person who has evil gunas, all that refers to as good person means a great bhakta. Actually, this is Purusha, it gives power to the mind and body. Only because of that, according to the modifications of the mind, along with this Purusha, it takes different births. If the Purusha or the Jiva realizes, if the soul realizes that I am Brahman, then it will no more give its power to the mind, or its close proximity will not be there. It will be separated. So then the mind, the impressions in the mind, all the sanchita karmas, agami karmas will not give effect, because its power is gone. It will not give effect. And that's the moksha, liberation. So the moksha is not for the mind actually, it is for the jiva. Jiva means it has to realize that I am not different from Brahman. That's what in the previous shlokas itself Bhagavan Krishna said, that I appear as divided even though I am undivided. Many jnanis, they understood that I am Brahman and they no more had close proximity with the body and mind. They know that it is matter. So till their prarabdha karma, which has started to give effect, so we cannot cut it halfway, When that was over, they no more took birth because they know that I am Brahman, and they started to live in this life itself as Brahman, that is all pervading Brahman, just like Shukha Brahma Rishi or great rishis. Very few are there in this loka like that. But and to Sloka 22, Bhagavan Krishna says, उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्ताः देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः. That is, here Bhagavan is explaining that jiva from three angles. When that jiva, which is not different from that supreme being, when it is in this body, it is said as jiva. When that same jiva, that chaitanya, when it supports this world, which it has, that is, it has been it is the nimitta karana, and it created this world. That chaitanya created this world. When it supports this creation, then it is said as bharta. And when that supreme being appears or exists as just witness, that is upadrashta, just a witness, then it is Brahman. So these are the three angles in which one has to see. When it is just a witness, it is Brahman. When that Chaitanya supports this creation, it is Bharta or Ishvara. When it supports this body, it is said as Jiva, and by supporting the body also it is said as Bharta. So that Purusha supporting this body and existing in this body, it is called as Jiva. And that same Purusha, when it supports this creation or when it creates this world or universe, it is said as Ishvara or the Bharta. And that same Purusha is the witness. It is witnessing and permitting all this as Brahman. This jiva is not different from the supreme being. Ya evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunais saha sarvatha vartamanopi nasa bhuyo vijayade. So a person who very well understands the nature of the Purusha and the Prakriti, in whatever condition he may be, he will not be born again. Once when we understand that all this modification, everything, I see now I move my hand, it's because of Prakriti, but it is not Prakriti alone cannot do this. Because I have this Chaitanya or that intelligence of Brahman in me as Jiva, as Purusha, I'm able to do this. An inert body cannot do this. So one must realize or understand this difference clearly between the spirit and the matter, that supreme soul and the matter, or the jiva and the body. One must be able to understand this difference. Then he will not be born again. Just like I said, when one understands this, then he will not care for this matter because he will understand that I am that intelligence giving power to this matter. So he will automatically move from this matter. That's what I always say, that one should not force to attain moksha. It will not happen because this understanding automatically separates us from matter. It may take time, but what to do? So many years, millions and millions of years, we have been brainwashed like this, that this superimposition, mutual superimposition, this matter feels that I am intelligent and the intelligence feels that I am matter, I am restricted, I have limited adjunct. Actually this jiva is unlimited, infinite. It is same as, it is not different from Brahman, but it feels so little because of this mutual superimposition for such a long time. And this change or understanding this difference will not happen in a day or two. We have to do nitidhyasana. Only by that we will be able to see the difference between the matter and the spirit. And once a person understands it to the core, then there is no rebirth for him. Because what will take rebirth? The mind is separated, and the mind, the jiva feels that I am intelligence, I am not this body and mind. So what will take rebirth? So there will be no rebirth for him, for that jiva. ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे. That is the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, that is beholding the self in the self by the self. So by meditation, one has to realize that I am the self. That is, one has to separate us from that mind itself. Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, from the beginning steps we have to do. 1, 2, 3, when we reach that Nirvikalpa Samadhi state, completely there will be no mind. We will be beholding the self in the self by the self. So that is one way of understanding this. And another is the Sankhya Yoga, Yoga of knowledge, Jnana Yogena, by the Yoga of knowledge. Just this is Jnana Yoga, understanding it. Just like when a science teacher teaches it, we understand it, but when we have to, that is only Shravana. We have to do Manana and Nididhyasana. Just like this, what we are reading or what we are hearing, it is only Shravana. We have to think over it, Manana, and when we think deeply, it is Nididhyasana. So by Jnana Yoga, one can attain it. And another way is doing the Karma Yoga. By doing Karma Yoga, that is without expecting the result and doing everything for Bhagavan, our mind will be purified. So when our mind will be purified, it will be ready to understand this Jnana. So the mind will be purified by it. So it won't directly give jnana, but mind will be purified by it, and then we can attain liberation. Karma yogena chapari. Some people, other people can do karma yoga and yoga of action and understand this. But anyway, the paths may be different. One can choose the path according to their own mentality or their own thoughts. For some people, karma yoga will be very useful. For some, jnana yoga. For some, Patanjali's yoga. There is no point in telling this is best or that is best. It is all for the different people who have different mentality. So by anyway, one has to realize this truth and understand the difference between the Prakriti and the Purusha. Anye tvevamajānantah śrutvānyebhya upāsate tebi chātiranantyeva mrityum shruti parāyanāha. And some people, by bhakti yoga, by upasana, by devotion, they just worship the form. But at one stage, their mind will go beyond that form. Automatically, it will go beyond that form, and they will go into the nature of Bhagavan. And after some time, that nature also will be gone. We will merge with our Atma, or we will be able to realize that all these are only matter, and I am that spirit, I am that Purusha. That we will be able to realize. So some people who cannot do all this, that is the karma yoga or jnana yoga or meditation, for them bhakti yoga itself will give them liberation. Yavat sanchayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyogat tadvidhi bharadakshapha. Bhagavan is telling, so what all you see in this creation, whether it is sthavara or jangama, whether it is moving or unmoving, all these are the combination of this kshetra, which is the matter, and the kshetrakya, purusha or jiva. So all what all you see, if you see a mountain, that is also the combination of the kshetra and the kshetrakya. Only the mind is not active in the rock or in the mountain, so it doesn't move its gross form. I am any being, any human being is the combination of kshetra and kshetrakya. In us, the mind is very developed, so we are able to move our gross body. In small insects, combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the planets, combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. So what all forms we say, it is the combination of the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. So when they are different from us, how they are different from us and why they are different from us, all this depends on the Prakriti, because the Prakriti is responsible for all the vikaras. That is the matter. Purusha is not responsible for it. Purusha is only the bhokta, enjoys it. All the changes and all the different forms and all the different way of movement, all the different intelligence, all the different mind, all is dependent on the Prakriti and its three gunas. Purusha is not responsible for it, but anything in this world is the combination of Kshetra, which is matter, and Kshetrajna, knower of the Kshetra, which is the Purusha. So with this, I take a break and continue with the rest of the shlokas of this chapter in my next upload. यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयोर्भूति ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।